is Madhvi from TaroticallySpeaking.com, and today, you guessed it, I am going to do my quick flip through and a little bit of a review of the Game of Thrones tarot deck and guidebook. I mean, I got this deck. I think this one was up for pre-order on Amazon for like ages. And I'm like, should I get it? Should I get it? Because of course I'm a big fan of Game of Thrones. I've read the books, I've watched the series, everything, and so I'm like, ooh. So anyway, I gave in and I bought the deck as soon as it became, available on Amazon. And here it is. And so let's do this. I couldn't help myself, so I have obviously because the deck came, I think a couple of no, it came a week or so ago. I had it with me, so I just if you can see, it's a nice box, and it's got pictures and everything on the back of it and all of that. The front of it, the name is kind of so embossed on it, so if you can feel it. It's really nice. It's a sturdy box, so if you want to store your kind of deck in it, you can, and I would suggest you do because it's a very interesting thematic deck. So if you store it with the box, it kind of it creates that whole thing about it. And you open the box, and you see you have your cards and you have the guidebook. All right, and you have these little ribbon things that'll help you get them out easily. So let's quickly look at the guidebook. It's cute. I like it's got a very interesting sort of periodish feel to it, with the pages having a certain brownish shade to it, and this smells nice too if you're into smelling books. And I think it's if you see, it's kind of stitched, so it's really good quality, this cardboard, right? And basically, and I think it covers the basics. It's really good. I would suggest having a little bit of knowledge of the whole Game of Thrones series while you pick up this deck, because otherwise you won't recognize the characters and the stories and the context of it. Just I mean, you'll be like, who's who? Well, what does this mean? So there's a little bit of an introduction here, and how to use the book and deck and shuffling. I mean, I think most books will have that information. The print, the font size is very small, so you might have to, if you have problems reading small fonts, then that's something you might have to look, get a magnifying glass or something. Reverse cards. I'm very pleased to say that each and every card has a reversed meaning. Even the minors, they have reversed meanings. So that is something I'm very, very pleased about. So this deck kind of embraces that. Most decks wouldn't embrace that. They don't, or they kind of just shy away from it altogether. I'm like, hey man, I read reverse cards, so it's good, it's there. And then there's a bunch of spreads. We have the past, present, future, and the red keep, the old gods of the north, the faith of the seven, I drink and I know things. Tyrion Lannister. This I like that guy. I totally like that guy. Drink and I know things. The spread of the maesters, and then it gets. And this is again, it's a little bit of a complaint or a rant. It's not just specific to this deck. I've seen this happen in many decks nowadays. Is that they talk about or they have these spreads. Before they show, talk about the meanings. And I mean, understandably, someone who knows tarot and someone who has a familiarity or who has watched at least 1 or 2 seasons of Game of Thrones can easily pick up this deck and start doing readings with it. I get that part. So if they put spreads before they give the meanings. I mean, it's for people who know tarot, I get it. But still, logically speaking, wouldn't it make sense to have the spreads part after the meanings part? Just saying. And believe me, this is not just this deck. I think a couple of decks that I've reviewed in the recent past have had the same issue, and I'm like, what's the logic of it? Just can someone explain the logic of it to me? I'm really really interested in knowing the logic of it. And as you can see, the card back, they have it here, and let me just show to you one card back. It's all the swords. It's the Iron Throne, I guess. All the swords that are stuck in the Iron Throne. And yes, the back is reversible. Yes, full points for that. 5 stars for that. Just for that. Alright, so then we have your major arcana. So in that, you have 2 pages devoted to the majors. A big image of the card. The key meanings, which are your keywords. A little bit of a description. Then the upright meaning, additional meanings, and the reversed meanings. So there's a whole lot of information for your major arcana cards. And yeah, and then the minor arcana cards, there's a little bit of a little bit of a write-up of the 4 suits. Now we have swords, coins, and cups, which are pretty common, which are like every other deck. For wands, they have taken spears, and again, that's a little bit of a complaint or a rant or whatever, because spears have little iron things on top. And so at first, when I was when I hadn't even looked at this book, I was just looking at the cards. I'm like, oh, spears, maybe this is the suit of swords. And then I was like, oh, there is another suit of swords, and I'm like, this is confusing, right? And then I realized, okay, maybe spears is wands, because you look at the cards, they do follow a Rider-Waite-ish thing. So I'm like, why are this the cards looking this way? So it's confusing. Maybe they should have just kept the wands. But I get the whole spears thing, but again, it can be confused with the swords. And when you're looking at the cards, when they're looking at the meanings for your minor cards, it's just smaller spaces devoted to each. The card picture shows up, and then in very very small print you see where or what the context is within the story of Game of Thrones, and then you have your meanings, the keywords, upright meanings, and the reverse meanings. Okay, so for instance, let me just randomly go somewhere. Right, so for instance, this is cute. 8 of Cups, right? Jon Snow walks away from Castle Black declaring, "My watch has ended." So that's your 8 of Cups there. And you have the key meanings of departures, change, resolution, the upright, and the reverse meaning. So it's pretty cute. It's pretty interesting. It's all in context. So it makes sense to go through that when you're, I mean, you can skip it if you know the story and you can get the context when you look at the image. But if you don't get the context of where this image is coming from, don't worry. The book has your back. So you can totally go there and you can look what where the which thing from the story it's been picked up from. I like that a lot. And they've done it even for the court cards, like your Queen of Swords is Cersei Lannister, and the Queen Regent Cersei Lannister seated on the Iron Throne in the Red Keep's Great Hall. So it's the King of Swords is the Night King in the circle of standing stones of ice beyond the wall. So they have given within the context also for your court cards, which is nice. Very nice. Anyway, so it's totally worth pursuing. And here we have about the author and illustrator, about Liz Dean, who has created this deck. And I believe, she is the author of 4 tarot decks and 10 books, which include the Ultimate Guide to Tarot and the Art of Tarot. So that's interesting. And here's her website, lizdean.com. And the artist is Craig Koss, an award-winning San Francisco Bay Area fine artist, illustrator, and storyteller with an MFA in visual narrative from the School of Visual Arts. And he's also the author of the Goddess Coloring book, and that's interesting. So, and he was given his first tarot deck at age 10, so he's totally into the cards too. So that kind of explains the kind of comfortable feel I have with the card imagery. So that's about the book. Let's go look at the cards themselves, because I'm sure that's what you guys are here for more than anything else. So let me move this around and let me get my stand a little bit closer, so we can totally look at the cards. All right, be right back. All right, so let's begin the flip through. The Fool card is, of course, Tyrion Lannister, and right behind him you can see the dragon. The magician is none other than Littlefinger, Peter Baelish. Yeah. The priestess is the red woman, or the priestess. Yeah, the red woman. That's what she's called in the story, isn't it? The empress, of course, is Dany, mother of dragons. I like how, I like the line drawing. See how finely, beautifully the whole thing, especially with her hair. Dany is all about her hairstyles also, and of course you see the three dragons in the background there flying about. Man. And Jon Snow is the emperor. And you can see he's got the dire wolf sigil on his dress there, armor, whatever you call it. So he's also, doing the Stark thing. And then, of course, Varys, Master of Spies, as the Hierophant. Because yeah, I mean, over the episodes, over the seasons, I've rather started developing a bit of a respect for Varys. Actually, I used to think that he had some political agenda, and believe me, he does. I think that very strongly, but I also have a lot of respect for this guy. The lovers, we have Jon Snow and Ygritte on the wall. Cute. The chariot, of course. The dragon. And the Dothraki, ready to go get Dany her throne. And Brienne of Tarth as strength. I don't know if it comes across on screen, but there's a bit of a matte type finish to each of those cards, to all the cards. I mean, I know we're talking the strength card, but the card stock is thick and strong. It's really nice, and it's not flimsy at all, and there is that matte feel. I don't know if you can see it. I'm trying all various angles. I don't know which will catch it, but if you can, please. There is a nice matte feel, and the cards are really that way thick. So sometimes I even as I'm turning them, I feel maybe I might picking up two cards. I'm not, no. So yeah, I like it. I actually like it. Hermit, we have Brandon Stark, and the Crow. The wheel. You see how the sigils of the various houses, the lion, dragon, the stag, and the wolf, or the dire wolf. Yeah. And of course we have the little pigeon. Yeah, they kind of, it being, instead of the four angels. We have these sigils of these four houses on the wheel, which of course Dany is going to break. I hope she does. And Ned Stark as Justice. Check out, he's got that hand of the king pin, I think, also there. He's sitting on the Iron Throne instead of Robert. Oh, the Hanged Man. Poor Theon. And this is actually the Boltons, the sigil of the Boltons, right? Death. Arya Stark, of course. Perfect. Then we have Samuel Tarly studying his books in the castle library. Totally temperance. Ooh, Ramsay Bolton as the devil. Oh yeah, this guy actually, he's the evil. He's not devil, he's evil. That's what he is. You know, he's, ugh. The tower. Oh yeah. This is the tower that Brandon Stark was climbing when he fell down. And you see that's his little dire wolf waiting for him downstairs, and it's probably up there climbing. Is he there or is he falling? Maybe they should have shown him falling. You know, when Jamie pushes him through that window. The things I do for love, he said. Star. I was initially pretty confused who this person is, to be honest. And so I looked in the book and discovered that this was Sansa. And then I was like, yeah, okay, this is the part where she goes and lights the candle in the tower for Brienne to come rescue her, you know, from Ramsay and all that. So, or yeah, I think that's that time. Star. All about hope, right? The moon door. The moon card. That was one crazy situation. This. And the sun. Wow, okay. Judgment, we have the Night King doing his thing. And for the world, I love it again. We have again all these four sigils, if you look closely, of these four houses. And we have a map of Westeros with all the important areas kind of marked nicely for us. Which is cute, which is very nice. So these were your major arcana. Now let's look at the minor cards. Right, spears are actually wands, so don't get confused. But it is confusing, yeah, because when you see that and you're like, oh, it could be swords, but it's not. These are wands. Ace of spears, two of spears. Is that Dany in... It's not Meereen, I wouldn't say that, but she's got her dragons, so... Three of swords. Oh, three of wands or spears. See how confusing it gets. Four of wands. This is the card where I was like, I don't think they're swords. This is, I think, more wands. Four of spears. Five of spears. Six of spears. Ooh, Dany. God, I love her. She's inspirational in many ways. I mean, the way I see it, it's like the Dany who started out with Khal Drogo versus the Dany we see today. She has grown, she has matured, she has learned, or she's even still learning what it means to be a queen. And I think that is brilliant. I mean, how they've shown the character arc in the story. Even as a writer, it's something I appreciate kind of reading through, you know. Seven of Spears, Eight of Spears, Nine of Spears. So is this the Battle of the Bastards, maybe? Let's look at the book. I'm curious now. Where is it? Where is it? This is Swords. Cups. Okay. Spears. Yeah. Jon Snow's determined army confronted by a Bolton wall of shields, spears aloft. Yep. Battle of the Bastards. I'm good. I'm actually a big fan. And 10 of Spears. The Page of Spears. Knight. Jaime Lannister. Queen of Spears again. And King of Spears. Eddard Stark. Okay. So now, swords. And I like it. It's interesting. For wands, they've taken mostly King's Landing, I would say, as the area, you know, where things are happening. Or Dorne, even. Some instances like the Eight of Spears. For swords, I'm probably going to be looking at more colder or snow-filled areas. Let's see. Ace of Swords. Oh, Arya Stark. Two of Swords. I love her too, you know. Wow. That scene in the latest season where she fights Brienne and totally surprises her with her moves, I think, and you know, with Sansa and Peter Baelish watching. Oh, that was like, damn. Three of Swords. Four of Swords. Nice, interesting. Five of Swords. Is that Brandon Stark? Possibly. Six of Swords. Bravos. Seven of Swords. Oh, Samwell Tarly stealing that Dragonstone sword, I believe. I think. Eight of Swords. Nine of Swords. That's his dire wolf. And 10 of Swords. Oh yeah, Jon Snow. And they labeled him a traitor. Sons of the Harpy. Page of Swords. The Knight of Swords. Now, this is Ramsay Bolton too, yeah. Queen of Swords. Cersei Lannister. King of Swords. The Night King. Then the Cups. Suit of Cups. Ace of Cups. Two of Cups. Just ignore the, if you're getting any sounds in the background, just ignore that. Just ignore it. There's stuff going on. We have Three of Cups. Four of Cups. Ooh, Sansa in the cold and Peter Baelish coming up to her. That was, I'm not all for spoilers, but I like how it all ends up for him. You know, he gets a taste of his own medicine, so there's that very fine sense of satisfaction. that scene was very, very satisfying. If you guys are followers of Game of Thrones, you'll know what I mean. That scene gave me a lot of satisfaction, trust me. 5 of Cups, 6 of Cups, 7 of Cups, 8 of Cups. My watch has now ended. 9 of Cups. Mr. Samuel Tarly in, I think this is where he goes and where he is in that big, where he goes to become the maester. I forget the name of that. The Citadel. Ah, not bad. 10 of Cups. Page of Cups. Bran. Okay. All grown up. Knight of Cups. Queen of Cups. This is Sansa, I'm sure. And King of Cups. Jon Snow again. And coins. Ah, is this the coin that fellow gave Arya? Valar Morghulis. Probably. All men must die. 2 of Coins. The Lannister symbol. A Lannister always pays his debts. This is also very much similar to the Marseille 2 of Pentacles, by the way. Just saying. Then your 3 of Coins. Very nice. Very, very colorful. Very beautiful. 4 of Coins. Is this a guy from the Bravos Bank, maybe? 5 of Coins. Ah, this is Arya Stark doing her beggar girl thing on the streets of Bravos. 6 of Coins. 7 of Coins. 8 of Coins. This is Gendry. 9 of Coins. 10 of Coins. Page of Coins. Tyrion Lannister again. Knight of Coins. Oh, is this Brienne of Tarth again? Maybe. Ah, this one. I killed him. Queen of Coins. And King of Coins. All right. So, this is a pretty interesting flip through. What do you guys think? Do you think that these cards are amazing? Because I do. I certainly do. I most certainly am totally in love with these cards, and I can't wait to start playing with them. I probably will do my next month's card a day readings with this deck. So there you go. The Game of Thrones Tarot. What do you guys think of this deck? Isn't it amazing? Isn't it brilliant? Isn't it superb? It is definitely a deck that any fan of Game of Thrones, and of course someone who's into tarot, can totally get. If you can get it as a collector's thing also. And the way the imagery is, it is very much in keeping with the Rider-Waite-Smith style of imagery. So you can use it also as a regular tarot deck. So I think that's just brilliant. And of course, the guidebook is very helpful. So again, I wouldn't recommend it for total newbies because, tarot is something you need to get into. But if you are into the Game of Thrones, if you watched at least, and yes, this is something that you should have at least watched maybe 1 or 2 seasons of Game of Thrones to kind of get an idea of who's who. And then, of course, you're on your way. So, do you have this deck? What are your opinions on this deck? Did you like it? Are you gonna be doing readings with it? And yes, I might very well do my month of May card a day readings with it. Still, the month, April is still young. There's maybe I might have find another deck during the month. Who knows? But currently I'm quite obsessed with this one, so I just might do my next month's card a day with this one. And yeah, so I guess that was my flip through. Tell me how you thought, what you thought about it. If you liked it, please, please, please click the like button in the just below this video. If you want to share this video on social media, please feel free to do so. If you want to follow me across social media, see me do my card a day readings and stuff, and you can subscribe to this channel also on YouTube if you haven't already subscribed, or you can follow me on social media, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter. I'm all of these places. You can, if you want to kind of keep in touch with me, you can also sign up for my newsletter. The link for it is in the description below. What else? What else? What else? What else? Yes, and if you want me to do readings for you, please, the link again is in the description. You can totally order your tarot card readings. I do a mixture of tarot and Lenormand readings. You can totally order those as well for yourself. Any kind of questions, be it romance, career, spiritual stuff, practical stuff, anything and everything. You basically can ask your cards for guidance about every life area where you find yourself stymied, blocked, confused, or needing to make important decisions. The cards are there for you. Ask them and they will always answer. So I guess I will see you again in my next video. Meanwhile, stay good, be good, play with your cards. Bye now.